Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Thursday the 16th of January. So let's have a look at what's what here. Let's start off looking at what are we looking at first? Let's look at the news. It's alright, my thought brains were somewhere else for a second. Okay, I'm going to look at the basic calendar here, just update this if I can. There we go. And just run through where we are to date. So US data on Wednesday came in less than expected, but it's still above the 2% target. And I guess this is what we start forgetting in some of these numbers. Where are we? Actually, no, it came in line on the headline figures. Sorry, it's UK that had come in the morning. Yeah, that was less, but still well over the 2% level. US is still sitting at 2.9, so there were some lower numbers in that mixture, but headline figures online, it's just anyway. So no great change in that respect. Manufacturing index dropped quite considerably, but that was that. Today we've got news to watch out with. We've got the US retail sales, pretty significant one there, following the Christmas period. Right, let's just check and see if there's anything else that's coming out. Trade balances were worse in the UK. Not great surprise there. Okay, there are quite a few speakers later on more in the evening than the day. We'll get some earnings calls out there, but right, okay, let's get on. Look at the technicals, and largely the euro is still in its downtrend. Mostly, apart from the very short term, it swung back yesterday. Today it's popping back up again. I'm still sort of split when you look at it from a 4-hour point of view. That was the news coming out here. Get the right bar. There we go. It came out on that bar, 2 o'clock. The 2 o'clock bar went all the way back down again. I was tempted to short it, and then I had to go out, so I couldn't look at it anymore. And well, I don't know if it's the right thing shorting this at the moment. It's quite questionable as I'm looking at it at the moment, whether it is actually going to come down more. I mean, this morning it's pushing up a little bit at the moment, but it's not clear to me with this especially with this spike here. If you take the spike out and just look at what's happening, it's got this short-term trend with a bit of flattening going on at the moment, a bit of consolidation. So as much as I was looking at it yesterday, it's more for looking at around trading, the news that had come out more than anything else. A bit of post trading, but anyway. Right, 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock at the pound even. That's what happens when you get woken up far too early this morning. The pound looking soft as well, but again, when you start coming down the time frames, as long as it is soft on the bigger time frames, I'm only really looking for shorts. But realistically, with both the euro and the pound, I haven't got a short setup at the moment. Yes, I could just sell them both, but the price action's a bit iffy, and well, I'm going to stand aside there. Dollar yen, I wanted to get into this yesterday, and last night I didn't get back till later and missed where really the better price. I'm just looking at it in the moment. I'm looking at a swing short on this, so I'd be placing the stop towards the highs here and just sitting in the position and leaving it for a while. It'll be more of a position trade. I'll look at see what happens if I can get a reasonable entry off the intermediate or lower time frames on this, but it's already started kicking off again. It's at the low of yesterday's price, so we'll see. But this is more of a position trade. I'm looking to see if we can get into the yen and it rolling over, or the dollar rolling over. Whilst my son's in Japan, he'll probably be spending so much that it will change the economy. Right, Aussie US dollar. Higher lows on again. It's this sort of it didn't come back so much in the afternoon there, but it did come back. It's quite ugly this morning, the Australian dollar. Is it going to react off the underside of this pivot now? It's hit it. What's it going to do is probably a question. With all of these, the big picture, I say all of these apart from the yen, it's inverted, but we've got these big downtrends, and they're still looking very soft. And with that in mind, all I really want to be is on the short side, but it's not really giving me any short signals. If anything, we've been getting higher lows coming through on the lower time frames over the last few days. Okay, it's pulled back off here and taken out the lows, but it's not given us a lower high yet. It's given us a double top, and I guess it's triggered the low between the two tops, which is a bearish signal. But it's immediately pushed back up again at the moment. As I said, the reaction to this daily pivot is what I'll be looking for. US dollar CAD. This continues to consolidate largely around the highs. It's a bit like the yen in a sense, but without the better moves. But it's still consolidating around there. I'm not majorly bullish on the Canadian dollar. I really don't like the chop. The only thing I would say in its defence is it's right into sort of these sort of ultimate highs of near term over the last few years, and it might just consolidate and then gradually come down towards its back towards its yearly pivot. But at the moment, I've got no reason to really go long on it as it sits, and I haven't got a short. And it has on the lower time frames here given us lower highs, lower lows. So we'll see. Right. New Zealand dollar is very similar to. It's gone back to the Canadian. Can I have the thank you, New Zealand. It's very similar to the Aussie in real terms here. It's quite ugly as it sits here. Maybe if this starts breaking below its weekly pivot there, the white pivot level. It could be a short opportunity. It's putting in lower highs here. It's probably a little bit more clearer in that respect, but it's now running back up again. So I think the best place, if I was looking to short this, is be patient and wait for it to break the pivot. Okay, Swissy was looking at this. Remind myself why I was looking at this, but I mean the big picture is still very bullish on the US dollar side. The Swissy very weak. Last couple of days it's been trying to do something. It's put lower highs in there. I remember what I was looking at now. I was looking at to see if we can get a reaction off the pivot, but it eventually ended up through the pivot there. Yes, it's come back, but it's quite ugly as it sits there at the moment. Actually daily wise, if it breaks back above the 50, it might be a bit more attractive. It's already tested the 50 from the underside, so that's knocked out the way. So I'd rather see a higher low overall, a bigger higher low, which would mean breaking this high here. But it might be that have to wait a little while there. Okay, likes the euro yen clean on the lower time frames, but quite ugly looking now on the dailies. There you go. I mean, it came off really wonderfully back into those prior lows here, and then it stalled. Now, is this just effectively a bear flag, or is this a reversal that's going to be a proper? Okay, yes, it's reversed already part of the way, but is it going to go more? Are we going to be able to trade this to the upside at some point? I still have more faith in the yen, so realistically I'm still looking for short opportunities. But I don't like these bars at the moment, but obviously this current one hasn't finished. We'll see what's happening. Okay, right, the other currencies we'll look at in a short while. Side of that, then gold. Let's do the usual suspects. Gold yesterday ended up back positive. Still seen. I did. There's the Israeli Hamas peace talks, etc., going on, and looks like they found a solution, and things like that. A little bit of easing in the Middle East would benefit in terms of. Well, I say benefit. Take the pressure off alternative safety areas like gold, but it hasn't, and it's still pushing there. This morning at least it's back up there. It didn't really come off too much yesterday. There was a bit around the news it came off, but it's picked back up and it's solid at the moment, so it looks like gold's just being bought. No real entry in that for me at the moment, but it's if you're long on it, it's worth holding. Oil broke through yesterday, managed to break through some of the levels of the last couple of days. We've just seen this continuation and the shove up here. Well, I was discussing this yesterday, whether I should be trading it a little bit earlier in the daytime. Occasionally we're seeing some of the sort of better potential going early, but it was fooling us a little bit yesterday. It was looking quite weak in terms of breaking the lows there. I was thinking, well, maybe that would just roll over. Then look what happened later in the day again. It sort of completely went back into trend. So maybe just hanging in there and trading the time frame I know is probably better. So I shall wait for this. Ideally today I'd like to see it coming back towards its daily pivot and see if we can get a bounce off that for this afternoon. Okay, equity markets, we're up a bit this morning on the S&Ps. We've seen a bit of joy here. Yesterday so it's seen again a bit more of a move up there. Still it's in a descending channel at the moment, this overall price action. Not looking the best, but it's a descending channel is generally looking for the break to the upside. And well, it might be doing such soonish by looks of things here, but I'm looking for the break and then the retest before I would actually enter it. High lows, high highs. I had a really solid day there yesterday with the news coming out. They liked the fact that inflation wasn't going up anymore for now. Okay, the FTSE, same old same. Actually, it's picking up a little bit. The equity market here starting to pick up. And look, I mean, much more positive than it has done, but no actual entry as I'm looking at it at the moment. If it had been about 2 or 3 hours ago, that was looking quite smart, although would have been looking for support, so it's not the ideal entry, but it does look more positive, the FTSE now. The DAX took out its highs yesterday. We was looking at this in the morning and it carried on. There's the 7 o'clock bar. We was looking at it. As expected, it went up to its R1, but it blew through that into its quarterly R1 as well. Still looking quite positive here. We might just get a retest or test back into this consolidation phase, maybe back into that quarterly R1 as well. Just see what the reaction is like this. But at the moment, it still looks pretty positive on the DAX there. Okay, that's pretty much me done for now. I wish you a great day's trading. In summary though, just summarising what I'm looking at in currency wise, there isn't too much at the moment that I want to be taking trades on. So I've just got to wait. I mean, as the morning develops, often around about nearly 9 o'clock, I see more trades now at 9 o'clock that I'm potentially going to get in because the markets have changed a little, or otherwise it's left to the afternoon, where we're seeing much bigger moves recently. Right, have a good day. Be patient. Catch you later.